Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of United Talks podcast. You gotta let that sink in. 21 assists, record breaker Bruno Fernandes. Not 20, not 19, 21 Premier League assists in a single season. Thierry Henry, he surpassed that. Kevin De Bruyne, well, he surpassed that. And as Paul Pogba said, easy peasy. Standing in his shadow, basically, these are the players that are behind him. Our captain, our leader, our record breaker, Bruno Fernandes, has officially cemented himself as the greatest creative force the Premier League has ever seen, with 21 assists, surpassing all of these players. Now, he has to take a bow for this. So, welcome back to United Talks podcast. This is the takeaway show, and basically, it has been an incredible final day of the Premier League football. You know, on the South Coast, we walked into the Amex, dismantled Brighton, who were fighting for their lives, and then finished our 25-26 campaign with a masterclass. 3-0, complete dominance, and basically the perfect way to head into the summer where we can actually finally say, well, Manchester United should be back or are back. Now we've secured third place. We've got Champions League football. We've got a full-time manager in Michael Carrick leading the charge. And today we're basically just recapping the Brighton win, looking at the history books and also reflecting on the season that has completely transformed the club. We'll do a season review on that and probably do a 5 takeaways from the season. But we've got 5 major takeaways from the game, 3 insights on the future stars, and 3 positive spins on the season finale, and we'll finish the campaign. We have finished the campaign on a high note, right? Now, basically, Bruno Fernandes is number 1 on this takeaway. The history book itself, the greatest single season playmaker award winner, and the headliner of our thumbnail. The Premier League has seen legends, but nobody has ever hit 21 in one campaign in a while, in at least maybe a good number of years. Bruno Fernandes didn't just break. Nobody has ever hit 21 assists. Bruno Fernandes just broke the record, and he did it with a goal and an assist in a 3-0 win. He finished the season with 136 chances created, a league high. And then when you look back at the 25-26 season, this will be remembered as the Bruno year. He's the heartbeat of Carrick ball. He's the heartbeat of Carrick's United. And basically, we can always break it down and say, you know what, Bruno did a good job this season. Then you have to talk about, takeaway number 2, and that is Patrick Dorgu, the return of the Jet. Basically, that's what I tagged this part. After 3 months out, to see Patrick Dorgu come back and dominate the left flank has been nothing short of spectacular, but the stats don't actually tell the perfect story. But he opened the scoring with a thumping header and provided a through ball for Bruno's goal. His connection with the squad is seamless. He adds a dimension of the pace and directness that we were missing during the mid-season grind. Basically, after the Arsenal game, he got injured. Having him fully fit for next year is likely basically more like a new signing, basically to give Cunha a run for that position and most likely push Cunha to one of the options for striking or one of the options for the number 10 and all of that. Now, we have to talk about takeaway number 3, which is Ahmad and Mount synergy. Mr. Mount was amazing in this game. He had the most defensive contributions. We have to also look back at the second goal. The interchange between Ahmad and Mason Mount was actually a pure total football kind of one-touch passing movement football, basically understanding of space and the unselfishness to pull the ball, back for Mbeumo. Ahmad could have easily shot it for himself. He's just got only 2 goals this season, but he flourished under Michael Carrick and Mason Mount in this game, and basically they are both finding their rhythm, and they are kind of like the vital cog in this midfield machine. Most likely we might need maybe like one more signing to cover that pace, or maybe get a striker signing to actually make Mbeumo play as one of the wingers. That fluidity is what makes us dangerous, because if the opponent marks Bruno out, Ahmad and Mount can actually create chaos, and that's actually what happened, and that's why Mount had good numbers and a high rating on the day. Then you have to also talk about the 4th takeaway, which is like the defensive solidity and the Lomond's shutout. 3 goals scored, 0 conceded. St. Lomans flourishes in this campaign as a rock, and basically we'll analyze all of those takeaways from Man United's campaign and all of that. Even when Brighton pushed for a late consolation, he stood tall. We've seen him mature from a promising talent to a legitimate, reliable number one. Has kept a clean sheet. He's done really well all season, but we'll also talk about that when we do the season review. A clean sheet on the final day is the perfect way to actually, go into the summer, and it actually gives the backline and St. Lomans the confidence that they need for next season at Champions League level. I mean, we can't wait for Champions League for next season, but obviously we have to face the World Cup. So yeah, it is what it is. And then takeaway number 5, finishing in third, and that is kind of like the Carrick blueprint. And we have to ask ourselves, what's the next stage from here? What's the next step for Man United in this team? What is the next phase, right, in this Carrick blueprint? Now we end the season in third place. We qualify for Champions League with weeks to spare, and when Carrick took the reins, there was a bit of doubt, but now basically there is a clear identity as to how Man United wants to approach the game. But the truth is, it depends on how you see it, right? We play very fast, we press high, and we trust the youth. As Michael Carrick brought in Shirley, well, it didn't do much. Tyler Fletcher, well, didn't do much, but I was impressed by his marking and everything. But finishing third isn't just the goal, but it is the foundation, and we are no longer kind of like the team that limps into the finish line. We are the team that finishes with a statement. And the truth is, you have to give credit to Michael Carrick for delivering that third position, the mandate of the club, and finishing as high as possible. That's the aim for this season. Now, bonus insights. We have to talk about Leniuro impact. Leniuro came in at right back, and it was great to see him come off the bench. He nearly backed the goal from a corner because he hit the crossbar. I forgot that. I just remembered it now. And he's been such a solid piece of that defensive rotation, coming in at right back. And it gives us opportunities to have options for next season. His area presence is going to be vital against the elite strikers we'll face in the Champions League next year. He's not just the future prospect; he's part of the present. Obviously, I would have loved to see it in heaven, but I'm very sure he's going to have a lot of games to play next season. So long may it continue. He's just 19, and all of that. And then you also have to talk about the World Cup form. I mean, there were many guys like Maxim the Kuiper for Brighton being talked about for the World Cup, but our players were competing against the best in the world. Basically, if you look at like the Brighton squad, it proves that the level of training under Michael Carrick, and also if our squad is pushing international stars to the limit, it tells you that everything you need to know about the trajectory, and that is in person of Kobe Mainoo. That was basically a bonus insight in this one. Performed really well, and he did an amazing job in that midfield, but I expected more because I think Mason Mount actually outdid him when it came to like dealing with the midfield and his response, playing in that defensive midfield or central midfield hybrid role. So Mason Mount was really impressive in that game. Also, bonus insight number 3 is bringing the Shirley and Tyler Fletcher. Bringing in Shirley and Tyler Fletcher into the team in the closing minutes. That's not just giving them a run out, but just kind of rewarding the academy. Carrick was showing that if you work hard in the youth setup, there is a clear pathway to the first team, as he mentioned in the press conference ahead of the game. The culture is going to keep our squad hungry for years to come, but also watching those players play, I think they probably need like one more loan spell in different clubs to actually just get experience of first team football, looking at what we're trying to build for next season. Then obviously positive, we're going to talk about the 3 positive spins. The first positive spin we're going to talk about is the early sluggishness and the learning curve. Some might say that we're sluggish until the 33rd minute, and that's a fact. But I would say basically you look at how we responded. The best teams are the ones that actually can flip the switch. We didn't panic. We didn't let Brighton gain confidence. And once we clicked, we blew them away. And that is maturity. And that's the difference between a good team and a great team. And the truth is, we were able to just focus more on getting the results than just doing anything different. So it's just kind of getting back to basics, and that's what I think Carrick has successfully done with this team. And then obviously positive spin number 2 is that there's the motivation that Brighton had, which I'll call the Brighton motivation. But Brighton were fighting for that European spot. They were playing everything, and they took control for the most part of the first half. But it wasn't a dead rubber game for them. It wasn't a high. It was a very high stakes match for the home side, and we went in and took care of business like professionals, playing against a desperate team and coming out with a 3-0 win. I think it's a great stress test for our squad. And then positive spin number 3 is the summer reset that we need to talk about basically. So we ended the season on a winning streak. Well, on a winning streak, 2-game winning streak, but unbeaten in 5. Teams actually taper off when they and get lazy before the final whistle, but not this United side. We basically held our own, finishing strong and finished with a clean sheet, and we head into the summer, feeling like a team that is invincible, right? Momentum is real in football, and we are carrying a massive amount of it into the off season. So it's going to be super interesting, and we look forward to it and all of that. Just to basically just say, what our final take is. That's 25-26 campaign in the books. We've qualified for Champions League, which is what we wanted to do, finish as high as possible. A 3rd place finish, and that is already complete, and a world-class record-breaking captain in Bruno Fernandes. Michael Carrick is also currently our manager, as confirmed already by the club and everything. The foundation is built, and now the real work begins as we prepare for the biggest stage in Europe. Now, my final take, basically, my question for you guys in the comments is, we have 3rd place, but we need more. What is the number 1 area that we need to address in the transfer window to close the gap on the top 2 for next season, especially for Arsenal and Manchester City? Is it a new striker? Is it a deeper midfielder? We've been interested in a couple of midfielders. Is it deeper midfielder, or what do we need to do to set a standard to challenge, and exactly where do we need to get to next season? And then also give some shout outs to Bruno Fernandes in the comments. 21 assists. Can anyone in the world actually touch this playmaking right now? I mean, he's the playmaker of the year for the Premier League as well. So yeah, and he's on the same level based on assists as Messi and Thomas Muller. So drop your comments in the comment section, drop your thoughts as well. I want to hear who you think has performed really well today. Obviously, without a question, Bruno is our player of the season already. But smash the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to all things Manchester United. We're going to give you another round of videos as well, so be ready for that. A whole lot of things to come, especially in the next couple of hours. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as relates to all things Manchester United. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.